Bhaktivedanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Navadev Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Akti Devi Ki Jai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the Sambhudev. All glories to the Sambhudev. All glories to the Sambhudev. All glories to Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Gauranga.
Namaste Narashimhaya. Pralada Lala Dadaine. Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha. Shila Tanka Nakalaye. Pito Nishimha Parato Nishimho. Yato Yato Yamitato Nishimha. Ahi Nishimho Hiraye Nishimho. Nishimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye. Tavakara Kamala Vale Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Darita Hiranyakashipu Tanublinga Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hale Jai Jagadisha Hale Jai Jagadisha Hale Adhuta Shiva Adita Hiranyakashipu Tanublinga Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hale Jai Jagadisha Hale Jai Jagadisha Jaya Nirishimhadev Jaya Nirishimhadev Jaya Nirishimhadev Jaya Nirishimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prada Jaya Bhakta Prada Jaya Bhakta Prada Jaya Bhakta Prada Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Lord Nishimadev Bhagavan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanande.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Nice, we have visitors today, and it's nice to speak to when devotees are there. It's so nice. So, my name is Divya Gaurangi Devi Dasi, and I'm just very new in this here at temple. I mean, not new at temple, but speaking on Bhagavad-Gita. So, we'll start with bhajan, and then we'll discuss. We are on 10.6 verse today, chapter 10, Bhagavad-Gita, Hare Krishna Shivani, and verse 6. So let's do the bhajan. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Radhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Hari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Radhe, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol. So we'll start with Mangalacharan prayers, and if you can please join me. Om Agnanatimidandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeshatarine Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkripa tamaham vande Shri Guru Deenataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be here and trying to speak something on today's verse for my purification with my limited knowledge and understanding. So thank you so much for being here today. And today we are discussing verse 6 of chapter 10. So I'll just take out verse chapter 10. Anyone knows the title of chapter 10? Yes, Prabhu, the opulence of the Absolute. What a beautiful heading in itself. So, okay, text number 6. And, okay, so someone would like to repeat the verse also, right, afterwards? So I will recite first. 10.6. Maharshayah saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imah prajaha. Maharshayah saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imah prajaha. Maharshayah saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imah prajaha. Anyone wants to recite the full verse? Maharshaya saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imah prajaha. Anyone else? Maharshaya saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham loka imah prajaha. Matajis? Anyone? Okay, great. So we'll read the synonyms. Maharshaya. Oh, okay, sure, Prabhu. I should keep it closer? Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Tinnitus. Sure, I'll speak louder also. Sure. Let me know if it's not loud enough.
Sometimes it's no problem, other times today it's quite bad. So.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Maharshayah, the great sages. Sapta, 7. Purve, before. Chatvara, 4. Manava, manus. Tatha, also. Madbhavaha, born of me. Manasaha, from the mind. Jataha, born. Yesham, of them. Loke, in the world. Ima, all this. Prajaha, population. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai. The 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. Purport. The Lord is giving a genealogical synopsis of the universal population. Brahma is the original creature born out of the energy of the Supreme Lord, who is known as Hiranyagarbha. And from Brahma, all the 7 great sages, and before them 4 other great sages named Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, and the 14 Manus are manifested. All these 25 great sages are known as the patriarchs of the living entities all over the universe. There are innumerable universes and innumerable planets within each universe, and each planet is full of population of different varieties. All of them are born of these 25 patriarchs. Brahma underwent penance for 1,000 years of the demigods before he realized by the grace of Krishna how to create. Then from Brahma came Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar, then Rudra, and then the 7 sages, and in this way all the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas are born out of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma is known as Pitamaha, the grandfather, and Krishna is known as Prapitamaha, the father of the grandfather. That is stated in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, 11.39. Oh, this is a beautiful purport. As I was reading this purport by Srila Prabhupada and this verse, I'm thinking, okay, how to talk on this. So, because here it is talking about creation. The previous verses, verse 4 and 5 of this chapter, last 2 verses, it explains how Krishna is the origin of all qualities, like intelligence, is the origin of forgiveness, truthfulness, sense and mind control, equanimity, all the qualities. And now in this verse, verse number 6, this explains how Krishna is origin of all the personalities. So, from Bhagavatam, we can understand that there are 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam and across 12 cantos. First topic is Sarga, which talks about the primary creation of the universe, which is the creation done by the Lord himself. And Visarga is the secondary creation, which is done by Lord Brahma. Brahma is created by Krishna, and then Brahma does further creation within this material universe. And this is mainly explained very nicely in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now this verse also touches about creation, and it is speaking about how from Brahma the 4 sages came. They are called 4 Kumaras. They are, the little children we see in the picture. Especially there is a picture when they enter Vaikuntha, and when they are having this conversation with Jai Vijay, who are the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha planet. And then later on, Lord Vishnu arrives there at the scene, and then there is a beautiful picture where we can see all the 4 Kumaras are just so in awe and reverence to see the Lord that one Kumara is at the feet of the Lord, one is looking here, one is looking at the face, and all 4 of them are just so happy to see the Lord, and they are in this awe and reverence to see this beautiful form of Lord Vishnu. So they are the 4 Kumaras, the children of Brahma. And Brahma asks them to, because he creates them because he wants further population in the universe, but they don't want to create They want to remain children, and they just want to be celibate, and they want to they want to be devotees of the Lord. So then what happens next is that in the verse it is talking about the 7 sages are created by Brahma and 14 Manus. So I thought that we could discuss briefly the chart of creation. It's very simple. I'll keep it simple. So the essence of this verse to understand is that Krishna is origin of everything. Krishna is the cause of all the causes, and Krishna is the creator. He creates all the creators. So that's what we need to understand from this verse, that how Krishna is origin of everything. So first of all, there is no beginning, there is no end. So Krishna is there always, right? He is the source, he is cause of all causes. So there is Lord Shri Krishna, and Krishna is Bhagavan. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no one above him, right? Because he possesses all 6 opulences in full. Anyone knows what are the 6 opulences of Krishna? Yes, Prabhu? Yeah. 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 Knowledge. Renunciation, yes. So you've got strength, beauty, knowledge, renunciation, opulence. Yeah. And there is one more. Yeah, we got the beauty. Beauty, power. Okay, so let's have a look. 1 minute. I'm thinking whether to discuss the verse first. Yeah, so you've mentioned everything, Prabhuji. There is prowess, fame. So fame is missed out. Fame, prowess, beauty, knowledge, opulence, and renunciation. These 6 things are full. And Jiva Goswami says that Canto 1, 3rd chapter, verse 28 is called Paribhasha Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that verse is Ete chamsha kalapumsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam indrari vyakulam lokam mrudayanti yuge yuge. So, Paribhash Sutra of literature means that it generally comes in the beginning, and it is stated only once, and it provides key for the proper understanding that governs the entire literature. It governs the great literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. So what this verse means is that all the incarnations that, Varahadev, Narsimhadev, Lord Ram, all these incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So Krishna is source of all the incarnations. And all of them appear on planets. Wherever there is a disturbance created by the atheist, the Lord incarnates to protect the theist. And Krishna is Bhagavan. As we discussed, he has all 6 opulences: prowess, fame, beauty, knowledge, opulence, and renunciation. So Lord's incarnations display limited powers because only so much. See, when certain incarnations come, they don't need the complete potency of the Lord to execute certain activities. So only certain power is required, then they manifest different features and potencies as required. But Lord Krishna is primeval Lord. When he came, he exhibited the complete feature of Godhead, thus confirming that he is source of all incarnations. So Srila Prabhupada gives this example. Say, for example, in a room, there is small electric bulbs. They are displayed. It does not mean that electric powerhouse is limited, right? The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, incarnations of Lord, they display limited power because only so much power is required. So much potency is only required at that time or in that scenario. So Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Now, this verse explains the genealogical synopsis. So first of all, I wanted to just mention quickly that Lord Shri Krishna is the origin. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan. So there is Krishna. Then from him expands Lord Balram, right? So remember this, Krishna, then Balram. Then from Lord Balram, there is 4 more expansions take place. That is the first quadruple. And that is Sankarshan, Vasudev, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. I'm explaining this so that we come to know how Brahma, where Brahma comes from. Okay, so Lord Krishna, then Balram, then first quadruple. From that first quadruple, 4 incarnations, from Sankarshan, Narayana incarnates. And Narayana, second quadruple, same names, Sankarshan, Vasudev, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. From this second quadruple, Sankarshan expands Mahavishnu. Now there is only one Mahavishnu, also called as Karna Dakshai Vishnu. And remember, there is Sankarshan, Vasudev, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Sankarshan to Mahavishnu, Pradyumna to Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And Garbhodakshai Vishnu is in each universe. So there are innumerable universes and as many Garbhodakshai Vishnus. And Aniruddha expands to Shirodakshai Vishnu, that is Paramatma, super soul in our heart. So we spoke about 3 Vishnus, right? Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu and Shirodakshai Vishnu. So Mahavishnu, he lies down in the Karana causal ocean, and when he breathes, so this is all in the spiritual world at this point, right? And from his bodily pores, lots of universes come out. He's just breathing one breath, lots and lots of innumerable. So say for example, there is so much sand particle on the ocean, right? So much sand is there all over the earth planet. If you think there is so many oceans and so many beaches are there and so much sand particles, if you collect them all together, can we ever count them? It's impossible, each sand particle not possible to count. So innumerable universes like that come out from the pores of Mahavishnu. And each universe, then there is a Garbhodakshai Vishnu there, and from his navel, Brahmaji takes birth on a lotus. And you know, when there is a beautiful picture also, so when we do class on Zoom, we have this PowerPoint, so you can show, right? But now we have to use our imagination that it's a beautiful, like how Garbhodakshai Vishnu is lying down, and then the lotus comes out. On the lotus, the stem is like resting place of all the 14 planetary systems of our universe. Other universes might have many, many planets, but we know that in this universe there are 14 planetary systems. And so basically that is creation. And now once Brahma is born, he does not know what to do, and he just heard the 2 words, tapa. So penance. He did penance for 1,000 years, and then he got the knowledge from the Lord within his heart that how he has to create, and then he got the knowledge of the Vedas. And Lord is very merciful. All the living entities in this world, in our heart, also Lord enters us within our heart as Shirodakshai Vishnu. So Brahma is a child of Lord Krishna, and thus now he has to do population. So that's how it is said here that Srila Prabhupada says in the translation that the 4 great sages, then the Manus, and then the 7 sages were born from the mind of Brahma. And thus, then they do Manus, they do further population. So the essence here is to understand that the 4, 5, 6, and then the verse 7 talks about that by knowing how Krishna is the ultimate creator, cause of all causes, we can accept Krishna's powers, which leads to us surrendering to him with love. And one who is convinced of his opulence and mystic power, vibhutis, as described in this 10th chapter, engages in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord. And undoubtedly, generally people know, that God is great, but not necessarily they know that how God is great. So here in this verse it clearly says that how Krishna is the origin of all the universes and a cause of all the causes. So just to touch upon, so we understand the greatness of Krishna, from him Brahma has come. So this our Brahma, his lifespan is how many years? Anyone knows? Our Brahma, his lifespan is 100 years, right, Prabhu? Yeah, 100 years. And which is equivalent to 311 trillion earthly years, our years. That is the life of Brahma. So Brahma lives for about 100 years, and he's born on the lotus out of the energy of Supreme Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and from him comes 4 Kumaras, 7 great sages, and then 14 Manus. Okay, in one day of Brahma there are 14 Manus. Okay, because one day of Brahma, 71 Divya Yugas pass in just one day of Brahma. And one Divya Yuga is called Chatur Yuga, which is the 4 Yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. When this one cycle finishes, it's called Divya Yuga. Right? Like this, there are 71 Divya Yugas in one day of Brahma. And so 14 Manus will rule for... there are 1,000 Divya Yugas, and each Manu rules for 71 point something plus Divya Yuga. So 1,000 Divya Yugas in one day of Brahma, 14 Manus, each Manu reigns for 71 Divya Yuga roughly. And all they are born from Brahma's mind. Here says in the verse that Mat Bhava Manasa, born from me, from my mind. So 4 sages, 4 Kumaras, 7 sages plus 14 equals to 25. All these 25 great sages are known as the patriarchs of the living entities all over the universe. The scientists have estimated that there are around 8.7 million species of plants and animals in existence on this planet. And Srila Prabhupada says in the verse that there are innumerable universes and innumerable planets within each universe, and each planet is full of population of different varieties. All of them are born of these 25 patriarchs. So they start populating, and we are all children basically of Brahma, because these are the patriarchs of Brahma, and from there all the other living entities expand. So all species like the Prajapatis, Manus, Devatas, humans, animals, reptiles, they are all created by the Lord through Brahma based on their karma. And the 3 modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion and ignorance, it creates different living creatures, demigods, human beings and hellish living entities. These 3 types of beings are again divided into 3, and each guna is mixed with the other 2. The Lord in the form of Vishnu maintains the humans, animals and demigods, and he reclaims those conditioned souls through various incarnations. He comes, he's so merciful. He comes down, he descends just so that he can take us back. So the Lord in the form of Rudra then annihilates the complete creation at the end of the millennium, just as the wind displaces the cloud. So, after Brahma is born of Garbhodakshai Vishnu on a lotus, so we discussed that he hears tapa and he does penance, and then he starts the creation. And Srila Prabhupada mentions in this verse, Bhagavad-Gita 11.39. So that verse he says, he says that Brahma is Pitama, grandfather, and Krishna is Prapitama, because he is father of Brahma, so father of grandfather Brahma. And this is explained in 11.39, so I'll just read that quickly. Vayoryamoghnir varuna shashankaha prajapatistvam prapitamahascha namo namastestu sahasrakritvaha punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. So the translation is, Krishna, you are the great grandfather. You are the great grandfather, You are Brahma, the first living creature. You are air, fire, water, moon, and you are the supreme controller. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. And even Arjuna addresses Krishna here as great grandfather because he is father of Brahma, first living creature in the universe. So here the essence of the verse is that Krishna's position cannot be accurately ascertained either through the qualities born of goodness or by the sages, progenitors, or their descendants. Can Krishna ever be known by anyone? So, and then Srila Prabhupada explains in the 10.2, it is very relevant here. So 10.2, Srila Prabhupada explains. Let's read. Name viduh sura ganaha prabhavam na maharshayah aham madirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. So here we can see that it is so nicely explained in the purport by Srila Prabhupada how it is so difficult to understand Krishna. He is the origin of everything. He creates the creators. He is the cause of all the causes. So as stated in Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than him. He is the cause of all the causes. Here it is also stated by the Lord personally that he is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even the demigods and the great sages cannot understand Krishna. They can understand neither his name nor his personality. So what is the position of the so-called scholars of this tiny planet? No one can understand why this Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. One should know then that scholarship is not the qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and the great sages have tried to understand Krishna by their mental speculation, and they have failed to do so. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, it is clearly said that even the great demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and can reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism, of something not manifested by the three qualities of material nature. Or they can imagine something by mental speculation, but it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish speculation. Here the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the Supreme. One should know this, although one cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is personally present. He nonetheless exists. We can actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. Simply by studying his words in Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. So what is Srila Prabhupada is explaining here so nicely that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna and he is supreme. And one should know this. That is why one should study the scriptures. And Shravanam, Kirtanam, Mananam, right? These are the steps. Shravanam is extremely important. See, when we want to know something about somebody, we need to find out about them. We need to read about them. We need to ask questions. And that is why studying the scriptures is very important. When we get to know Krishna, then we will we will then surrender, we will do activities, services to please him, right? So just to say a little something practical here, once there was one atheist and he did not know much about Krishna, and this person was explaining him what is written here from Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam. As Srila Prabhupada says that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the Supreme, there is no one above him, and we must please the Lord and we should serve him, and that is our constitutional position, because we are his children, and we are only happy if we serve him. It's like watering the roots of the tree, right? You water the roots of the tree. You don't separately water a leaf or a branch. And then from the roots, the entire tree gets nourished. In the same way, even Krishna is the origin of all the devatas, demigods, and even demigods cannot give us any boons without the sanction of Krishna. So we should just pray to Krishna. And then as he is glorifying, this person is asking that your God is saying, I am this, I am that in the scriptures. And this is not sounding right, okay? Because he's, who says things like this, that I am the supreme? So he said, okay, then this person is asking him, this other person, that what do you do? What is your qualification? Let's hear about you. What do you do? He said, oh, I am a CEO of this company. I am the boss. So he said, how comes you are saying like this? You are the boss. Usually that would be like talking in a way that sounds like there is ego in you, that you are CEO. So he said, but that's what I am. So I have to tell you that this is what I am. That is my, what is my status here, and that's what I am for a company, and I have so many managers working under me, and I have to supervise, guide, and I have to lead the company. So then this man says, okay, here you got the answer then. Krishna says what he is in the scriptures, like how you are saying that you are the CEO of this company, that is the truth, right? So Krishna is also explaining in the scriptures the same thing. At the same time, the difference is that Krishna is all spiritual. There is no modes, there is no ahankar or false ego at all. Krishna, just all spiritual, he loves us and he wants us back with him. And he is our best well-wisher. So then that person could understand that, yeah, right, I can understand what you are saying. That you only say what you are, right? So, just coming back to this, there is also a beautiful verse in 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, that why the devotees like to discuss so much about Krishna and understand Krishna. Because the verse says here, right, that understanding Krishna is so difficult, and the best way is by Shravanam, by discussion. Even in Bhagavad-Gita, there is Matchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. Devotees should sit together and discuss Krishna Katha. So this is a verse from 3rd canto, and here the verse explains that the devotees, they are smelling through their ears. Now how is it possible to smell through ears? We smell through nostrils. So let's see, we will recite the verse and then so. Ye tu tvadiya charanambuja kosha gandham Jigranti karna vivarai shrutivataneetam Bhaktya gruhita charunah paraya chatesham Napaishinath rudayam buruhat swapumsam. So this is Bhagavatam. Yes, Prabhu. 3.9.5. The verse I have taken from Bhagavatam. What it means is that Krishna is dweller of devotees' hearts, who smell through ears. You are never separated from the devotees' hearts, who smell through their ear holes. The aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound, and accept those feet as the greatest treasure through bhakti. So, here, this shloka is a prayer of Lord Brahma to Garbhodakshai Vishnu in the beginning of creation. And this verse is about Brahma and his secondary creation. So I thought this verse is quite in the context. Brahmaji says, how devotees of Lord smell through their ears. He compares the feet of Lord with lotus. Tvadiya charana means, O Lord, your lotus feet. Koshgandham, from the lotus emanates sweet fragrance, which is carried to our nostrils by wind. Similarly, the feet of Lord are also compared to lotus. This fragrance is carried to his devotees by the wind of scriptural vibration. So can you see that when we read and hear and discuss scriptures, what happens is that we are through our ears smelling the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord, because we are understanding about the Lord, and the scriptures are compared to wind that carries the fragrance of lotus feet of Lord, not to our nostrils but to our ears. The sincere devotees smell fragrance of Krishna's lotus feet through their ears. Fragrance is entering through Vedic sound vibration. So through this Vedic sound vibration, Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavatam verses, this fragrance of the Lord's lotus feet is entering through our ears. We are hearing from the ears. So one who takes shelter of scriptures is actually appreciating, worshipping and smelling fragrance of lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. And so without aligning ourselves to scriptures provided by Supreme Lord like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita, and there are various other literatures, Vedic literature there, right? We cannot appreciate the lotus feet of the Lord without aligning ourselves with the scriptures, without reading them, because we will only get the knowledge if we read. And we can appreciate various names, forms, and pastimes of the Lord, right? Roop, Nam, Gun, Leela of the Lord. We can only appreciate if we read the scriptures. So, transcendental lotus feet enters the hearts of the devotees who hear Krishna Katha through sound vibration of scriptures, and then Krishna never leaves the hearts of such devotees. And it's all related. Srila Prabhupada has always said that devotion, bhakti is service, it's devotional service. So we need to serve. We need to serve to get the taste. We need the mercy of the devotees, and we need to serve devotees and Krishna. Then we will get the faith in Krishna. So there are steps. First is service, mercy, and then the faith will come. And then we will be inspired to gain the knowledge by reading the Shastra, and the understanding will come with the mercy. It is not like I will open Bhagavad-Gita and just intelligent, with my intelligence try and understand. No, we need mercy of a bona fide guru. That is why we are reading from Srila Prabhupada's purports. On our own, we cannot understand this verse. For example, today morning I was reading 10.6 for our discussion today. Until I read Prabhupada's translation and purport, there was no understanding there. So we need guru, we need bona fide parampara, the guru to learn from. And then I just wanted to end with a beautiful verse that is another prayer of Gajendra. And this comes in 8th canto of Bhagavatam. And this prayer also reveals that how Krishna is cause of all causes and he is the supreme. So the prayer is, Namo Namaste Akhila Karanaya Nishkaranaya Adbhutakaranaya Sarva Gamamnaya Maharnavaya Namo Pavargaya Parayanaya. So this is 8.3.15 Srimad Bhagavatam. Here Gajendra says, Namo Namaste Akhila Karanaya. I offer my obeisances to you, Supreme Lord, who is cause of all the causes. Nishkaranaya Adbhutakaranaya. Krishna, he himself does not have any cause. He is Adbhut, he is wonderful, he is cause of everything. Like this, Gajendra glorifies Krishna. He says, my Lord, you are the cause of all the causes, but you yourself have no cause. Therefore, you are the wonderful cause of everything.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the shelter of the Vedic knowledge contained in the Shastras like the Panchratras and Vedanta Sutra, which are your presentations, and you are the source of the Parampara system. Because it is you who can give liberation, you are the only shelter for all transcendentalists. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So this way, Gajendra glorifies Lord Krishna, and so I just wanted to discuss this today, that the main essence of this verse, and to understand the creation, primary, secondary creation, is to actually understand that Krishna is cause of all the causes, and we are his children end of the day. And our position, the best thing to do is to do Bhakti Yoga, because Bhakti Yoga is glorified in Bhagavad-Gita. It is the best yoga. Yoga is connecting with the Supreme, right? So yoga is not like just the physical exercise that we know today, but Bhagavad-Gita yoga explained is that it is connecting with the Lord. Either through our activities, it is Karma Yoga, through knowledge will be Gnana Yoga, and through bhakti or love will be Bhakti Yoga. And the beauty of Bhakti Yoga is that it includes the karma and gnana also. Because when we love someone out of love and affection, we will gain knowledge with his mercy. And we will also do smaranam, meditate on this Lord. So we will also, that also includes the Gnana Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is the best to understand. To understand Krishna, we need to do devotional service, we need to chant, we need to serve, and we can hear, read, and discuss scriptures. Whatever you heard or you read, just go and speak to somebody about it. Or you can call someone, talk about, okay, today I read this verse or one verse that I memorized, or you can just discuss, and that is also bhakti. So that's all I wanted to conclude here, 10.6. And any questions? Any questions here? Any comments or realizations? Anything you want to share? We have five minutes. Anything that we discussed, or any doubt you have? I can try with my limited knowledge, though. I know I'm asking, but it's like at the same time. But yeah, if I don't know, I'll say I don't know. But yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam explains very beautifully the entire, I've not read everything yet, but the creation is a very, very interesting topic, which I do like very much. But at the same time, this verse is only touching upon how Brahma creates the 4 Kumaras, 7 sages, and 14 Manus. And they are the patriarchs of this material world. And then they further create the population into various species. Animals, reptiles, human beings, devtas, demigods, all of that. And then we are all put into this material world. There are layers of so many things are there, right? The biggest thing is the modes that we are covered by, and that's why we need to always be aware that Bhagavad-Gita says, 2nd chapter, we are not this body, we are the soul. So, and then serve Krishna and devotees. So yeah, I'll conclude here if there are no questions. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. I'd like to pay my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas by reciting Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Thank you so much, everyone. I really thank you for being here today and giving me this chance to speak. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai.
Thank you.